Hello and welcome to the Hit the Post podcast. And today we have a very interesting segment today, and we will be discussing the true analysis of Thomas Partey and why Arsenal have signed him. And we will go into in-depth detail as to and to understand how Thomas Partey is and could be the next Vieira. So
Yep,
today I've got Harsh Chopra on call with me. And Harsh Chopra, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, lot has happened since the transfer window's been shut, so it's exciting to talk about Arsenal transfer news for a change because we don't really talk about that. But hey, things have happened.
Yeah, that's true. Thomas Partey has signed for Arsenal after they have completed the deadline day transfer signing. And I must say, 45 million for Arsenal was a very strange one. And I think honestly, Thomas Partey is a great signing, and he played well against Liverpool. So, Sopra, I don't know if you've seen his game, and I don't know how you rate him, but
Hmm.
we will get into that in more detail over this entire segment. So, and for those who are wondering, Harsh Chetan is still out of town. We tried to get him in. We tried to offer him money, but he just wouldn't take it. And then we realized we don't have a sponsor. So
I,
no
I
money
think
to offer either.
Vian, I think
Yeah,
he's just annoyed by the fact that you keep calling him a guest every video.
that's true. That is
I
true.
mean,
I do.
what if he ran
He
away
wants
from
to be
us?
part of the family. He wants to be
Yeah,
part of the family. Can't deny that. It's a post family.
yeah.
So everyone who's watching this is part of it as well. And don't feel creeped out because so are my entire family. Anyways.
Good.
So anyways, okay, let's get into Thomas Partey and the signing of Arsenal.
Yeah.
So Harsh Chopra, I want to understand in more detail where does Thomas Partey fit in? Is he a replacement for Xhaka, or is he just supposed to give him competition?
I mean, he's a straight up replacement for Xhaka. I don't see him. I mean, I don't think they spent 50 million on a player just for him to sit on the bench. And considering it's Arsenal, I mean, if it was City, then he would probably be in reserves by now. But if they spent so much money, and as we remember, I think it happened very quickly. Like the last 3 or 4 hours, and no one was even expecting them, and then suddenly they've just gone in and paid for the release clause. So in terms of the player's quality, I think he's a player that Arsenal have needed for a while now. I think since Patrick Vieira and then Alex Song, I don't think they've had a player in that position which they need. It's very similar to how Fabinho plays for Liverpool, Matic plays for United, Fernandinho plays for City, and they've always missed that. So he'll bring up a lot of assurance for the defense.
Yeah, actually, very interesting comparison there with Patrick Vieira,
Hmm.
Arsenal legend. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are hoping that he could emulate Patrick Vieira and see if he can actually shorty up the midfield and try to clean up that sort of like a big lag in between the attack and the defense. I think in my opinion, he is definitely a replacement for Xhaka.
Hmm.
Arsenal can't wait to get him out. Xhaka's old, and Thomas Partey is going to provide some more life, in that position. And yeah, so like in
Wait.
terms of
Hmm.
physical attributes, I think Thomas Partey emulates Vieira already. So yeah, I think he can definitely be one of the interesting signings and probably the best signing of this window
I
after
mean, to be
Alcantara
fair,
for Liverpool.
to be fair to him, I think it's too early to start making comparisons. Obviously, we do that with every club. They sign a player, they try to, compare that to the former players, try to emulate them. But this is something very interesting which I was trying to get my head around, and I think I should ask you that as well. Thomas Partey for a couple of games now has not been starting for Atletico, which seems a bit weird. I mean, it could be that he wanted to leave and Simeone wanted to, you know, not having as plans. But it's very interesting because other clubs never went for him. I mean, the deal happened in like a couple of hours. You just had to like pay the release clause, and it would have been done. And a team like Chelsea, who were looking for Declan Rice, could have got the same player, could have got a different player for the same amount of money, and you would obviously at right now would take Thomas Partey or Declan Rice. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think I would definitely take Thomas Partey over Declan Rice.
Yeah,
Any West Ham fans out there watching? So,
I don't
so
think we'll be
anyways,
having West Ham fans watching us, to be honest.
that's true. That's true. But
Mm.
if you are, then comment below.
Yeah,
So, anyways, getting back to the point, I think you made a very interesting point that like he doesn't start for Atletico. He's a very sporadic starter. I would say he plays in the Super Cup. He doesn't really play that much in terms of the league. And
mm.
Simeone seemed to prefer that Saul and Koke and then Llorente as well. So in terms of space, there's no space in the midfield for Thomas Partey. And I was also really surprised at the fact that Thomas Partey is worth 45 million.
Yeah,
Because he is a world class player. Like I've seen him play against Liverpool, and I was particularly worried. I was really surprised and really impressed with the way he pressed us, and his physical appearance against Fabinho was very solid. But it is quite a mystery as to why he hasn't started for Atletico as consistently as he would have liked and as consistently as any Atletico fan would have liked. So it is quite a mystery, and I think maybe he can find some new life because he's been Atletico since the youth. He just like
yeah,
grown up in Atletico side, and he's really been. Apparently, he's a good player on and off the field. Like he's a good teammate as well. Maybe that's why he's been really quiet as such. But I guess we have to sit and see. We don't know how he is actually going to play in the Premier League. And actually, I
yeah.
was wondering, do you think he can keep up with the pace of the Premier League,
Yeah, I was just gonna come to that.
considering the pressure so much?
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I mean, Thomas Partey was playing in an Atletico Madrid team, which was a very defensive team. And now that he comes to Arsenal, obviously Arteta right now against big teams, he does not play very attacking football, or he tries to play defensive counter-attacking football. But when he starts playing against smaller teams, or when he tries to compete against bigger teams, he will want to play some attacking football. And how does Thomas Partey fit into that? Because all his life he's played in an Atletico Madrid team whose main job has been just to sit behind and let the attackers do the job whenever they get the ball, which is very rarely. So this will be a completely different change in formation, change in tactics. And again, coming to the Premier League, I mean, here's the thing: he's performed in the Champions League, so I think sometimes we give too much credit to the Premier League, thinking that, well, if you don't perform in the Premier League, you can't perform anywhere else. But it is a standard of some sort. So I think he will perform well, but it's a lot of pressure on him. I mean, after I think I would say Sanchez, this is their biggest. No, after Aubameyang, this is their biggest transfer, and they don't have a lot of big transfers. It's
Lacazette,
like, I mean,
Laka.
that level
So
though
Lacazette
of
was 49
expectations.
million.
Was he
Yeah,
49 million?
yeah,
Okay,
not bad.
but I mean, sure, but
Yeah.
but they do make such signings like once every 2 or 3 seasons. They don't do that every season, so the
And what
pressure's
about
on him.
Pepe?
Pepe, I mean, I don't know why they even bought him. It was like, I wouldn't compare him to Maguire yet, but it was like how United bought Maguire. Not similar
Yeah,
position. Obviously, they're different positions.
thank
But
God.
in terms of
Mm,
performing, considering how much they paid for them, in that sense,
mm,
he could turn
true.
out good. But I mean, he's not even starting. Villian is starting in front of him. A guy who just left Chelsea when he's 33
On a free. Yeah,
on a free
that's
transfer.
true. But yeah, I completely understand. The thing is that Partey will have to set up differently again for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arteta is a very modern, new thinking manager where he wants to play out from the back. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to
Mm.
press. I do not know where Thomas Partey will fit into all this. It is something that we'll have to wait and see. But I have gone through a lot of his goal stats and his assisting stats, and he has pulled out quite a few impressive goals in the past. That may be why Arsenal fans are looking to him as compared to Vieira. But like in terms of like his attacking stats, they're not bad. Maybe it's
Yeah.
because in Atletico he did not get many chances to attack. In Arsenal he might. But one thing's for sure, he's got a very good presence of the game, and he's able to read the game really well. I remember
Yeah.
against Liverpool, he was closing down every attack. He was just closing
Mm.
down everything and then converting into a counter.
Yeah.
So while watching him, I was really impressed, and I was also surprised that he hadn't started, considering that was the kind of game that he had.
Yeah.
So probably we got a little lucky with that and unlucky with the result. But let's not
Hmm.
get onto that. Uh, so yeah, so like maybe probably the last question I would probably have about Thomas Partey would be, where do you see him in the next year? Do you see him as a regular starter? Do you see him as a Vieira comparison, or do you see
Yeah.
him as compared to Ozil sitting on the bench and rotting away?
I mean, see, again, it's too early to judge on where he's gonna be next year. But it's interesting. It's when you look at when obviously we are comparing Vieira and Arsenal. The problem they've had these past 5 to 10 years, is that they've always been exposed in the midfield, right? They've had creative players. They love playing beautiful football. We all know that, but they've never had a player who commands the midfield, who whenever, like, who wants to get the things to be dirty if they want to win the match. And
Yeah, I
yeah,
think they tried to solve that with Xhaka, and he was a complete fail.
I mean,
So I see your perspective.
yeah. So he's a person who will give that protection to the defense. I think even though they're playing well right now, there's still the defense is still very exposed to
Yeah,
teams that can break them down. And Arteta's already put up a plan that's working very well. So him coming in, who knows? Arsenal could be. I mean, feel right now they are good at top four contender. I mean, for the title, it's too early to say. I don't think they will be, but at least this season, top four
I
contender.
don't know. I don't know if I agree with you on that. I think yes, Arteta is coming up with a plan, and yes, the attack is as solid as get. Aubameyang's on top form. He signed a new contract. I see your outlook completely,
Hmm.
but the thing is that all the teams so far above Arsenal have strengthened. They've strengthened from back to front, and I
Yeah,
think like teams like United, maybe not so much, but like they still have a lot of talent. Teams like Everton also, you can include them
yeah.
now. Spurs has gotten new signings. Chelsea has got new signings. So I don't know if Arsenal are yet ready for the top four fight. I see your point, but I
Hmm.
still think that maybe they're maybe a season or two away from that.
It might all
So
depend on Thomas Partey, to be honest. Like, he can really
that's
elevate their
true.
team, but if he does not perform well, then it's same old for Arsenal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He could be another Xhaka. So you never know, actually. But I really liked his play. I really think that he was very commanding. I saw quite a few games of Thomas Partey and a lot of very interesting runs. So what he does is that he's able to convert the defense to attack very
Yeah.
seamlessly. So I thought that when I saw a few games of him against, I think Villarreal or Sevilla, I'm not too sure. Uh, I saw quite a few very interesting runs that he was making and then
Yeah.
creating the attack. So he's very good at dispersing the ball and
You think
commanding that.
you think their formation will change now? I know that they are playing five defenders at the back, with Tierney as a left center back, and Maitland-Niles as a
Bellerin,
left back, and right back Bellerin. So they have
Bellerin,
two
yeah.
midfielders in the middle, which is Ceballos and now we assuming Thomas Partey. Do you think they're going to stick to that, or they might go a bit more traditional with Partey as a holding midfielder and Xhaka and Ceballos?
See, the thing is that you can't play El Neni, Xhaka, or Thomas Partey together. I
How's El
think they're
Neni in
all
a
competing.
conversation? El Neni is not in a conversation. Just because
El
he's
Neni played
Egyptian, come
against
on,
Liverpool.
Bian.
He
Just
played
because he's
against
Egyptian.
Liverpool. Anyways, my point being
Hmm.
that that spot is only going to be held by one player. And the fact that they signed Thomas Partey, they'll be eager to get him going immediately.
Yeah.
Ahead of him, I would have loved to see Ozil. I really love Ozil. I think he's a
I
fantastic player. I know he's lacking. I know he's a lot. It's a very unpopular opinion, but I would have loved to see Ozil. But I'm not going to get into that. Probably Ceballos ahead and as an attacking midfielder, and you know uh, I would like to see Willian ahead and more of a center attacking midfield, and Pepe playing out wide now. Because
yeah.
now that Thomas Partey can command that midfield, he can
Hmm.
really provide some defense for the ongoing counter attacks as compared to Xhaka, who's really slow.
Yeah.
So I would like to see Ceballos and Willian in the mix as well in the center attacking mid. I think they can be lethal, and Aubameyang gets the ball more often, the more goals he scores. So we
Yeah.
have to wait and see how Partey can actually hold up his end of the bargain. because we know for a fact that Arsenal have spent a lot uh, as compared to their wage bills and as compared to their current transfer signings. So they have outspent every club in top five or something, top 10 or something, apart from Chelsea and
Uh,
Everton.
yeah, I think so. I mean, the United didn't spin at all. I think top five.
Yeah, maybe. If you are watching, comment below and tell us your thoughts. And thank you very much for watching.
Yep.
And I don't know the outro, but like, share, follow, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure, Harsh Chopra.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.